Hello, it is Sarah Waggle, astrologer and leadership coach here for Moon Astrology Tarot, this time for the moon in Cancer. This is our last moon before the spring equinox. So hooray, we're finally leaving this Pisces energy, which has been, in my opinion, incredibly heavy. So we're talking about the beginning of the day on March 17th through midday March 19th. And the moon will be in Leo before the sun moves into Aries. So we're going to be in some heavy watery energy, including Sun conjunct Neptune. So just don't be surprised if this is really heavy, really thick, really lethargic. We also are in eclipse energy headed to that March 25th Libra lunar eclipse. And so themes might be resurfacing from mid-October. Themes around relationships, partnerships, how you show up in relationships, things like that. Also, it's kind of like a big purge from whatever has surfaced for you in this Pisces season. So really be thinking about what has come up for you during this Pisces season. What have you experienced? What has shown up? And whatnot. And maybe a good time for a good cry, because we're going to have Cancer, which is a water sign, and the sun finishing up in Pisces, which is a water sign. So we're going to have a lot of watery energy. Might even be a really good opportunity to stay super hydrated. Highly recommend sobriety from alcohol with the moon, with the sun conjunct Neptune situation. And I recommend the sobriety from alcohol because Neptune rules spirits. And alcohol, spirits, same thing. And so, and Neptune isn't home in Pisces. That's why things are so confusing right now, is because Neptune being in its home sign, Neptune rules media, it rules duality, it rules water, oceans, which is why we're seeing a lot of oceanic activity, storm activity, things like that. We also have Uranus and Taurus, which is Earth, and Uranus disrupts. So there's also just crazy amounts of technology changing. Pluto and Aquarius, Uranus and Taurus, they square each other. They're both fixed energy, but they're also both disruptive. So it's kind of stubborn disruptions. But there's a lot of things that are disrupting communication. And so that's why I'm recommending sobriety from alcohol. No judgment either way, but it is highly recommended as we move through 2024. I do have people kind of, randomly contacting and being like, what the hell is going on with the universe? What's going on with the universe is things are very, very confusing. And so the more we can keep our minds clear and keep ourselves grounded and practice our spiritual things, whatever that is for you, whether that's crystals or meditation or yoga, getting yourself grounded, getting yourself connected to nature, reminding yourself that you're a human on this earth plane. And, we're here for all of the earth things, the dirt, the grass, the crops, the fields, the mountains, the water, the sand, all of the things. And so that's why it's no judgment either way. I just really highly recommend, if you're feeling very confused this year, one, take on your spiritual practices intentionally, like routinely set timers, set reminders to do your spiritual practices in whatever way that is. Two, stay clear-minded. If that means sobriety from alcohol for you, great. If that means sobriety from sugar or sobriety from social media, sobriety is not just substances. It's anything that you consume that, I want to say, alters your mind or like gives you fog brain, all of those sorts of things. This could even be like antihistamines and stuff. Not that I'm trying to tell you not to do that. I'm just saying I'm not, anyway. I could go down rabbit holes sometimes, but I'm on YouTube, so therefore I must follow community guidelines. I have not been flagged, but I also don't want to get flagged. Anywho, so my point is that the more you can keep yourself clear-minded, the better, things will at least feel for you. Also keeping connected to your own, keeping your eyes on your own paper. And all of those things. I think that's kind of all I have. Again, just staying hydrated, connecting to water, whether that's, visiting a waterfall or, visiting a coastline. If you have that available for you, take a bath maybe, or maybe listening to waterfall soundscapes, or creeks or something like that, like a soundscape on YouTube or meditation apps or whatever you use, could be super helpful during this moon cycle. And so it is very dense. It is very heavy. I feel like there's just been a lot of purging during this Pisces season. We've been letting go of a lot of old cycles, old behaviors. Maybe some of your bullshit story, your victim story has been resurfacing, and showing up and looking like a scary monster in your visualizations. And that's okay, but face it, deal with it in the way that you need to, whether that is seeking support from a coach, a counselor, a therapist, however that looks for you. But highly recommend when you do work with a practitioner that you are choosing somebody who won't let you get away with your bullshit story. I was just having that conversation with a colleague the other day about, people who float from coach to coach or practitioner to practitioner. It's because they want to be able to show up with their same bullshit. So they don't have to, they don't have to tackle it. They don't have to work through it. They get to keep sharing the same, recycled story. And I'm not criticizing, I'm not judging, but I mean, people do this, right? This is why transformation work is not for the faint at heart. It is work. So anyway, I could go on, but let's get into some tarot and see what's going on with Star Trek Next Gen. What do you guys think of the Admiral Sarah Chronicles? I thought that was kind of fun. It was a fun little, I just want to do more fun things with astrology to just show you how you can integrate, how you can see it show up in your daily life, in your, you can come and watch my videos, and I'm perfectly happy that you come and watch my videos, and you can watch any other astrologer, but how do you see it showing up in your daily life or in television, movies, books, things like that, that you can relate it back to, oh, that sounds like, a Gemini theme or a Scorpio theme, or that sounds like an Aquarius thing. And you don't have to be right or wrong, but it could show up that way for you. And it's kind of like a, oh, I think I understand what Sarah's been trying to say this whole time. So we'll see what's up with the tarot. I'm excited for this Aries season. I know there's a lot of fear mongering going on about this, the April 8th eclipse. I don't think it's worth fearing. All right, we got the High Priestess, Counselor Troy. Yeah, feel your feels. Feel your feels. Feel the shadowy, the lower frequency. I just did like a joy challenge over this last week, and so we talked about the emotional frequency scale, the Hertz measurement of emotion, HERTZ, and you can look that up on whatever thingy you use to look things up these days. But I feel your shadowy emotions, feel the icky emotions, and that may be where the good cry comes in. You finally dissolve or break through the shame, the guilt, the fear, the anger, the sadness, the grief of, letting something go, or, opening yourself up to moving forward without feeling guilty. Do you ever notice that some people they don't want to post good news about themselves because they don't want to, create, they don't want to create something for people. Okay, pregnancy is a perfect example. Sorry for the guys watching, but for women, this is a hot button point sometimes. And I used to go through this in my younger 30s, when everybody would talk about getting pregnant. And it was painful. I feel it in my gut. like people were getting pregnant and I was not even like dating anybody, let alone like getting married, getting pregnant. And it would like hurt so bad in my gut that I wasn't. But at the same time, they're allowed to have, and you are allowed to have your celebrations. You're allowed to be happy, even though this world is completely fucked up right now. You're allowed. I am allowed to be happy about the work I do, even though all this craziness is going on. All the craziness going on is honestly not affecting me right now. When it is affecting me, then it might disrupt me. But for right now, it's not. Is the technology rapidly changing, affecting me? Yeah, it's making me giggle because Pluto and Aquarius, and I knew it was coming. And it's like, okay, I knew this was going to happen. Like all I can do is roll with it. Outages and there was a thunderstorm through here the other night that like knocked out my internet for a while. I didn't lose power. I didn't have a tornado. I was fine. I just lost my internet for like 5 minutes. So, there's nothing wrong with being like relieved when something doesn't like affect your world, and also being empathetic for those who it did affect, because I do believe the storm system that came through me did produce tornadoes in other parts of the country. I'm empathetic to that, but it didn't bother me. So I still got to go on with my work and get my work done. And that's kind of what I'm pointing to, is like you can be empathetic, but not empathetic to the point where it's like, well, I can't be happy because so and so isn't happy, or these, it's kind of like this is such a, well, it's the same thing as like, if there's a train wreck or a bus wreck or something. I know there was a recent bus wreck, like empathy, yes, but not empathy to the point of it being a fault or it being like disruptive to you getting your priorities, your needs, your things done in life. So I really feel like that's what this high priestess is about, and what we're heading to with these eclipses coming up. I think that's why it's like, don't fear these eclipses. These eclipses are here to show us something. And it's maybe here to show you how you present yourself or how you show up to your priorities. Are you like so derailed by something that doesn't affect you? Like, like that you can't get your work done, right? Or you can't address your priorities, or you're so concerned about XYZ that you can't get your stuff done, right? That's what this is. This is okay. Yes, bad things happen to other people. And I'm not here saying like, be cold-hearted bitch about it. No, not at all. I'm saying be empathetic, like, oh crap, that happened. Let me just sit with that for like 5 seconds. I'm okay. Nothing happened to me. I can still go do my work today. I can still go, read charts. I can still go produce videos, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. So for those of you who may be like sensitive to being empathetic, like take on other people's stuff, and which is completely fine. It's how it works, right? Until and there is a way to learn how to develop a thick skin around it. But um if you're super sensitive to that, you might want to check in on yourself on that. But don't be afraid to feel like your shadowy feelings about yourself. Like, are you feeling a certain way about yourself, like, oh, guilt, shame, anger, frustration, fear, that's keeping you. And so there may be like a purge going on with all this watery energy. I feel like I'm kind of all over the map with this video. And maybe that's okay, because maybe I'm saying some shit some people need to hear right before we hit this Aries season head on. We got the goat and the willow, overcoming obstacles. Yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure. I feel like we just drew this card recently. Was it in my Gemini video? I don't remember, but I do feel like I drew this card recently. I've been drawing a lot of the same cards lately, which I think whenever we start seeing repeats of the same cards, and I promise I shuffle these decks really well before I even start my camera. Anyway, but overcoming obstacles. What are you overcoming to get where you want to get? Like, what's the big thing in your way? What's the ugly, scary monster that shows up every time you think about what your dreams are, What would bring you happiness? What's the big ugly monster? What does it look like? Can you describe it? All of those things. That's what you're here to overcome so that you can have the life that you want and create it. And I'm talking to myself. I am talking to myself, I promise. Because I'm facing one right now. In my own stuff I'm up to. So it's not bad. It doesn't make it bad. It's just a thing. Like we all have to face our demons, however that works. And I am damn determined to face mine. Are you determined to face yours? In the oils, we got, oh, vetiver. Hold on. I need a reversal. Comforts fears and restores spirits. What did I just say? So here's the thing. Comforts fears and restores spirits. Yeah, like vetiver is a good quality. I think it's a tree oil. It's right up there with arbor vitae, as a means of really grounding in and conquering and whatnot. We got the goat and the willow, and we got the high priestess. There is definitely something here that's inviting you to get uncomfortable with whatever is your barrier, whatever is holding you back from what you want. And maybe you're stuck in that, and that is okay. It is okay to get stuck. It's okay to backpedal. It really is. We all do it. We all do it. Again, I was just talking to somebody about like getting caught in a loop. And because something like resurfaced for me that I haven't had to be coached around in like, I don't know, over a year, because I'd been in such a mindset, like had a major mindset shift and thought I was like on the go doing the thing. And then all of a sudden I'm like back in the same damn loop I've been in before. So I get there too, which is why I always work with coaches and I always, check in with myself and whatnot. But I feel like with these cards, it's really like, you've got this opportunity in this next month ahead, beyond this Cancer moon. You've got an opportunity to really catapult your life forward in a beautiful, brilliant, beyond your expectations kind of way. Eclipses can bring about massive change very quickly. And we have other transits with that eclipse and after that eclipse that will catapult you forward in a big, massive way. Are you fucking ready? And if you're not, that's okay. But I really want to empower you to step into a whole goddamn new life, because this world is not going back to whatever the fuck it was 10 years ago. Thank God, because that was bullshit and everybody was miserable. And I'm not saying people aren't miserable now, but I'm saying we have an opportunity as a humanity to have it go a different way as a collective. Anyway, all right, this felt very long-winded. I guess we'll see when I stop recording and download it. If it's not too long, I'll upload it, but if it's too long, I might re-record it. But anyway, I hope you enjoy the last of this Pisces season and take care of yourself in whatever way feels necessary for you. Take care. I'll see you next time.